Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, I am extremely excited to share with all of you the launching of my new educational chess website called Chessly. And to celebrate the launch of Chessly, all of my courses are 33% off. All you gotta do is go to the link in the description and it will be applied at checkout. Also, if you ever bought any of my courses in the past, you can go to Chessly right now and migrate them over. The process is very simple. This video is split into a few parts. First, I'm going to tell you all about Chessly and its features and tell you why we made it. Then I'm going to tell you what we have planned for the future. And lastly, we're going to have an FAQ section where I go into any sort of questions that you may have and show you how to submit feedback and see all of these questions answered on the website as well. So some of you may not know this, but over the last 2 years, I have offered chess courses, beginner bootcamp, intermediate bootcamp, opening courses, and so on. Chessly is going to have individual chess courses, the ones that currently exist, and obviously ones that are going to be made in the future. But we're building something called Chessly Plus, where you can upgrade for something like $10 a month and unlock a tremendous amount of features. First of all, we're building a bunch of training games that are not available on any other chess website. Literally, we design games from scratch to help you improve at chess. Chessly Plus will also probably have a community component where you can interact with others, write comments on courses, and so on and so forth. And lastly, if you're enrolled in Chessly Plus, I will do a quarterly group training with however many of you sign up. And a couple of last things about the individual courses that we're selling. A major difference between Chessly and the old platform is you are going to get a free sample. Every single course will allow you to access the entirety of one whole chapter, something like an hour of learning material. And lastly, I will be offering very low costs like $5, $10, and even free courses in the future on Chessly. The point is that those courses will go into a lot of detail on something smaller because obviously the bigger courses are going to be justified by the price. Okay, let's get into all the amazing features of Chessly. So some of you may have owned my courses in the past, some of you may have not. This is what they used to look like. If you had my E4 course, you had all the video right here and you had a downloadable PGN, but you had to go put this PGN in somewhere yourself. And if you wanted to play out the positions on a board or do exercises or build your practical experience, none of that was available on my old courses website. You had to do everything yourself until now. This is where Chessly comes in. We built a website that is going to have, yes, my video lessons, but also interactive studies with an analysis board that you can use. There are going to be drills. There are going to be quizzes to select multiple choice from. Let's jump into how this works. First of all, when you sign up, we decided that we are not going to store your passwords. You can email yourself a magic link or a one-time passcode so that we are not a liability. You don't have to remember an extra password out of all the accounts that you have, and we are not susceptible to hacking. Once you've logged in, here you will see important announcements. You can also hide this section, but we will always announce new features, new courses, and so on right here. For now, you should go through this migration process of courses if you haven't yet already, but once you do, this is where you are going to see all of your courses and the progress on each one. Now let's jump into the learning features of these courses. Every single course comes with an interactive study board with written annotations, a video which simplifies the concepts and gives you the general plans, and then drills. And quizzes are also on the way. Let's jump into this process of work on every single course. So you will notice that the videos are similar to something that I've had in the past, but every single video on Chessly is much shorter. That is designed to keep your attention on a concept or a variation within a course so that then you can quickly learn it, go to the study, and then practice it in the drills. This is what the studies and drills look like. The study is easily my favorite part of all this, where you get the entire course right here and you can scroll through it manually with annotations. There are arrows, there are critical red and green spots, and there are written comments to tell you everything about a position. And the thing is, there's also piece sounds, which you can enable. So far, we have the Chessly default pieces, but we also have chess.com and Lichess pieces, whichever ones that you prefer. And if you're ever confused about something and you want to analyze it a little bit further, we are working on getting that all set up on the same window and not opening a new one, but you can always go in depth here and analyze things and make moves and decide things on your own. And once you're done learning that, once you are done with the study, it is time for the drills. The drills are amazing. Not only can you play through them just in the moments right after you do a study, but also in the course itself, there is an option to do drill shuffle. Let me take you over there. Drill Shuffle is over here, and we're going to be building Quiz Shuffle as well. Quiz Shuffle will make you pick a move at random in a position in any of these chapters. And when you start Drill Shuffle, you get to select exactly what you want to do. If I only want to look at Vienna Gambit, for example, I will go here, and now I don't know what's going on. We will hide all of this, and you can just drill in an opening that you cannot predict. You do not know what variation you are drilling necessarily, but you can choose which chapters that you want to drill, and you have strikes, you have lives, and so on. Now, I mentioned this already, but if you don't have a course yet, you haven't bought it, and you're interested in it, you can take a look here at what is inside, and this is the most amazing part in my opinion. All of this is free. You get an entire first chapter, or any chapter that we decide to put as the sample, for free. You can use it, you can analyze it, and then you can decide to buy it, and that way we avoid those situations on the old site where you buy something, you hate it, and you want a refund, but it depends how long you've studied it, and it depends how long you've had it. It's all here for you. Last but not least, before I go full screen, we have FAQ and feedback. These are the two most important links that you have to click on. FAQ will cover a variety of different questions, and our feedback link will take you to this page. This is an amazing page. I apologize for light mode, but here you can submit requests, like getting to practice openings against bots, and you can upvote other requests. That way you don't write to me on Twitch, you don't email me, you don't do any of that stuff. You submit it right here, we will consider it. For example, we've already added piece moves. We're just working through bugs on getting LeeChess and Chess.com piece moves all together. But this is the best page if you want to submit a feature or anything else for us to improve. So folks, now I want to go back to full screen and address any of the frequently asked questions, thoughts that you might be having right now, and tell you our future plans so that you don't just spam the comment section or write me a personal email with your thoughts. It's going to be right here. If I miss anything, then I'm sorry. You can definitely get into it in the comments section. First of all, the team we're quite small. It's myself and 3 guys. 2 of which actually are from the Gotham community. We went through an interview process like a year ago, and we hired 2 developers, and the 3rd one, who's kind of leading the charge, is a friend of mine all the way back from high school. So if any of you are interested in joining the team potentially or helping out, gothamapplications@gmail.com. Tell us about your experience being a back-end or a front-end developer. I can't promise you a job, but we have a small team, and that is kind of who we are, okay? We have obviously some help as well with migrating the courses. Shout out to Pablo. And so on that note, understanding that we are a small team, you might have questions about the design of the website. You might have a question about some future courses. You might have a question about features. That is why we have our feedback and feature upvote style suggestions page, so that you all don't submit requests individually. Understand things are coming. Things take time, okay? A lot of things are a work in progress. We are working our hardest so that the chess side of the platform is working at 100%. If you can learn, we will build everything else. The best way I can describe this is, imagine having a fancy car, you do the paint, you do the rims, you make it look beautiful, but it has no engine. You can't actually drive it. So we're building the engine first, then we're gonna surround it with all of the beautiful, the design, the material, things that are not available on other websites. Like you might want a stronger stockfish and analysis. Yes, that will put a massive strain on our servers, right? So that's one of the questions that we are slowly building into. We're a small team, bear with us. I promise you, in months or a year, we're gonna be running beautifully. One thing I will say is we actively fix bugs. We actively implement your suggestions, especially the ones of the smaller nature, like piece sounds when movements happen, or making the video come before the study in the material, or something along those lines. And also, if some of you suggest variations, like in the Vienna, I want this changed, a lot of that can be done instantly with absolutely no problem. Okay, another question I get asked a lot, will I bring in other course authors? Yes, Chessly obviously is not named GothamChess.com. So in the future, I am hopeful that while this website will be obviously being pushed by my brand and my viewers and my audience, yes, I don't see why not. And the goal of that is to bring in stronger players. My target audience is about 1,1800 and lower. So some of you feel left out, okay? And you don't get as much out of my content as you might somewhere else. But yes, I would love that. That would be amazing. I get another question a lot about PGN viewing and offline viewing. Work in progress. We will see. We decided not to rely heavily on PGN to build the site. We actually built like an entire new way of chess moves to be recognized from a notation standpoint. It's very fascinating. You'll have to talk to the devs about that. And obviously everyone in the chess world is used to PGN. So work in progress. We're figuring it out. We will see. We hear you. And on that note, a lot of you also ask about a mobile app. So we design our website to be functional on any sort of PC, on phone, and on iPad. So a mobile app specifically is very, very tough to build. As far as I understand, it takes an entirely different kind of code. So maybe, but for now we are very mobile browser friendly. And one, I think, important thing to point out before we sign off is the refund and sample policy. So the old site, you couldn't really get any free samples because it was a course hosting platform. We didn't build it from scratch. And on there, you could buy a course and you would have a week or up to 20% of the course to finish, and then you would be able to apply for a refund. But a couple of things about refunds that some of you may not realize: people get courses and then they file for disputes from their financial institution. Not only do we get forcefully into a situation where we have to refund somebody, we also get charged for every single dispute, which is brutal. It's a very similar thing on Twitch called chargebacks. It's like some nonsense that people do. But also, it's very annoying because somebody might have finished 25% of the course and then they're in support and they're asking for a course to be this and that. On Chessly, it's very simple. We are offering you upfront a gigantic sample for free, for absolutely free. If you like it, you now have the option to go through the process of getting a course. Once you buy a course, we can't offer a refund anymore. And this is common on websites like DataCamp as well. If you are not sure about getting a course and you think you're gonna get a refund, just don't get the course. You get the sample right there. There's no need to spend the money and then ask for refunds. That's just very clean, straightforward. It's a little bit different than on the old website, but it's common on a lot of different like data websites, tech bootcamp websites, and so on. And we wanted to follow that model. Okay, now, in exceptional cases, if you reach out to support, which you can, we can refund you, but the goal is not to be flooded with folks that go, "Ooh, I like this course, nah, I want it," right? So that's very clear in all of our terms. And we did that to deliberately offer you a giant sample for free up front. And that way we don't have to be bombarded in our support. We can focus on building the platform. So folks, that concludes today's Chessly announcement. I hope you are as excited as I am. Chessly Plus will hopefully be launched at the end of October with all of those amazing training games for all of you to improve at the game, with a potential community feature, with a quarterly group training with myself, and so on and so forth. I'm pumped, okay? I imagine Chessly in the future to have many different authors, everything from free courses to short courses to middle game to end game, to all these courses at all sorts of different levels, with videos, with studies, with exercises within them, and then opening up our audience, not just to the 1700-1800 target, but beyond that. And I'm super excited. We've been working on this for many months now. It's been about it's probably been about a year. So this has been going on in the background. All courses are 33% off. Go migrate over, go to chessly.com, pick yourself up something for 67% of the price. And I am honored, all right, that you would choose me to be your destination for learning chess. That's all. I will see you in my next video. You know the drill. Get out of here.